Hello, my name is Demetrio Contreras, and I'm here with Mr. Carrillo to ask him questions about baptism. So, the first question is, why are religious rituals important in your life, and why are they important for communities of people?
Religious rituals, I believe, are important in my life. They give you a sense of belonging to a community, of having faith in a divine being, God, Jesus, being able to share that faith with people, which you repeat weekly by going to church and fulfilling one of the commandments. In religious, what was the second part of the question? I'm sorry?
Why are they important for communities of people?
For the same reason. It provides people with a sense of belonging, a larger family other than your immediate family. It provides you with a sense of being and belonging to a society of people that all share the same general core beliefs and values.
Thank you very much. Question number 2. How did you prepare to receive, administer, or participate in the liturgy for baptism? Did you attend a class, read anything, pray in a particular way, or speak with someone?
For my son's baptism, we had to attend a class, and following that, we participated in the ritual and with our family, friends, and again, in church, and it provides you with a sense of that belonging to the same community, because everybody, most of the people there at least, had been through the same thing when they were young, even though they probably can't remember, but it's the same general idea, belonging to the larger society, the Christian family.
How valuable were those participations for you?
The class, essentially it's like taking any other class, but this is a class in a part of your faith and a part of what it means to be baptized in the Christian family, and what it means to be a part of, to be here and basically be like God. So.
Thank you. Question number 3. Could you describe your experience of baptism?
My own experience, no. I could describe my son's. It obviously was the first step in his life, and in his journey of being a Catholic. He was, I think, 4 months old at the time, just under 4 months old. It was a bit funny to see him in his baptismal gown. Otherwise, it's a fulfilling experience to have your son baptized into the church, the same faith that you grew up in.
Thank you. What words from the baptism are especially significant to you, and why?
What word? To be honest, I don't remember any specific words from the baptism other than the sign of the cross. But obviously the sign of the cross, each step of it has a different meaning. So to see your son baptized and be given the sign of the cross by a priest was significant, obviously, was moving. So.
Question number 5. What is the significance of the physical symbols and materials used in baptism?
Of the physical symbols and what, I'm sorry?
And materials used in baptism.
I believe the biggest symbol is probably the candle, and I can't really recall what the significance of it, but I believe the significance has to be with lighting a candle for welcoming the child's entrance into the church.
Question number 6. How was each member of the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, present to you during the baptism?
That's a good question. So the first one, how is the Father present? Obviously, you're in the church. You're looking at your own child being baptized. The Son, the Father-Son relationship. The Holy Trinity. It's just bringing everything family together, seeing your son baptized, being with your family, being in church, just the whole significance is not overwhelming, but is very spiritually rewarding.
Question number 7. Who was the minister of the baptism? What was your relationship to him, and how do they enhance the sacramental experience for you?
We chose a church. We lived in New York at the time. We chose a church in the village. It was a small church that a close friend of mine, who has since passed away, had been married at. He knew the priest. We met him. We liked the priest. I don't recall his name. But it was a beautiful little church, beautiful private ceremony. So it was very nice.
Question number 8. How do you live out the grace of baptism in your everyday life?
How do you live out the grace of baptism in your everyday life? I think maybe like each of the other sacraments, especially First Holy Communion, it's a way of being closer to God and just a way of being connected to God. So I would think in a similar way, you live out baptism by doing your best every day, acting like God, acting like a Christian, acting in a way that you should act according to your religion.
Besides being a Catholic, what do you feel is important to the role of being a godfather?
So I have one godson. He's my cousin's son, firstborn son, and I grew up with my cousin like brothers. And I think similar to family, it's the same responsibility. You would have your own kids. You have a responsibility to another child as well, whether that child is related by blood or otherwise. And you have a responsibility to teach that child to act in the same manner you would, or your child would, or after God and in God's image and likeness, like we were all created.
How do you feel baptism changes your Catholic life?
How do I feel baptism changes my Catholic life? I think it makes my Catholic life, my Catholic ties stronger. I don't think it necessarily changes anything. I think watching my son be baptized simply brought me closer to God, knowing I had more of a responsibility to myself, that I was responsible for another human being now as well. So I don't know that it changes anything. I think it just strengthens my bond with God and makes me want to make sure my son grows up in that same type of setting.
Why do you think the sacrament of baptism is necessary for our salvation?
Why do I think it's necessary for salvation? I don't know that it's necessarily a necessary thing for salvation. I think more important is how you act on a daily basis, being Christian in your acts, not necessarily through a sacrament. Obviously, the sacrament of baptism is the beginning of your Christian life, but equally as important is how you act on a daily basis and making sure you act in the manner that God would want you to and that you should be proud of.
Sacramental character is a permanent and indelible aptitude mark in a person's soul, which is sealed by the Holy Spirit as a result of baptism. As a result of baptism, confirmation, and holy orders. Why do you think sacramental character is important?
Sacramental character basically is almost like divine intervention. It's about a sacrament that can't be repeated. It's something that's special, that comes around once in a lifetime, that you're not going to repeat. And basically, it's God entering you and you entering God's community for the first time.
Mm-hmm. How did it feel to become the godfather, and what were your roles as a godfather?
My role as a godfather Father was to basically participate in the sacrament by holding my godson, by helping to baptize him, by participating with my cousin and his wife, and by being a part of the ritual on that day. A part of the sacrament is their son entered the community of Catholicism.
Thank you. Why do you think St. Augustine said, "No one can begin a new life unless he repent the old"?
I think just like with anything in life, it's hard to start something new until you put an end to whatever something else is, whatever that is. It's no different than, ending 9th grade and starting 10th grade. You can't start something new until something old is done. So however that may apply in life, it might be to a new job, ending an old one. It might be to a relationship. It might be to a new church. It could apply to basically anything. You have to basically move on from the past in order to be able to start something fresh and new.
Jesus was fully God. Why do you think he allowed John the Baptist to baptize him?
Because Jesus was basically God's son here on earth. He was a human being. He was no different. He needed to be baptized and treated like a human being to be accepted by his peers, by those around him. He, despite the fact that he was a divine being, he was also human. So just like any other human, he also needed to be baptized. We're all created in God's image and likeness, and baptizing Jesus is no different.
Well, thank you, Mr. Carrillo, for coming. That's the end of the interview.
Thank you.